Hey guys, this is Wamz and Ether, the Shell Armor staff, with a special guest, Tails. Say hi,
Hi,
guys.
hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, that's Ether.
Big clown moment.
Yes, yes. So we're gonna be doing Shell Armor power rankings. This is post draft. We won't be doing power rankings for weekly because that's very hard. But just a warning beforehand, I am set up in my sister's room on a bed on the floor, and the microphone is on my chest. So you're gonna hear background noise, and it's probably from my computer, and there's not much I can do about it. So we can probably get started. Anything you guys want to say?
Um,
Not really.
I just like to refer to when we were doing applications, and Tomcor literally said, I came to Shell Armor to farm a chip.
That
Yes.
is very true. Let's see if his draft backs up his application talk. All right, switching to the draft screen. This is in order by draft order. So Tom Court was first, Mace was last. And it's also ordered by points, so it's not like a round. It's not like by round. Urshifu did not go round three. That's just an
Yeah.
example. All right, so the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna look at each team, and then at the end we're gonna rank them all, and then I'm gonna have it in the description as well, in case you're a bum and don't watch the video all the way through. So starting with Tom Core. This is a Gigantamax league, obviously the best side league. So he's got this insanely, in my opinion, Tom Core team. This is like his staple style.
I don't know what his staple style is, but
Dog.
personally, I see Coco, I see Lapras G Max, both of which I used last season. So definitely both solid mons.
Okay, well, first of all, Wams, I'll be honest, I literally played Tomcor like 2 seasons ago, and I don't know what the Tomcor style is, so I'm just gonna pretend like I know what that means.
Okay,
Yeah, me
honestly,
too.
I think I mixed up Tom Core style with Rival style, but
Oh my, absolute clown.
all right,
All
but
right,
this looks like a very like the Azelf just screams to me Rival. So I kind of got them mixed up for a second.
all right.
So he's got a very solid team. He's got extremely good bulk and Skarmory, Tangrowth. Looking through it, he's not weak to electric, which is great because he has electric terrain. And he doesn't want people to abuse that. He's got one of Nidoqueen's best check. Sorry, he's got Coco's one of Coco's best checks, which is Nidoqueen, which means he won't have to face that. Gmax Lapras sets up so many possibilities, and Coco is top two Pokemon in the draft scene right now. So overall, I think this is a very scary and very balanced team.
All right, so because Ether's slow and a clown, I know I'm
Oh,
going
all right.
to proceed
Yeah,
with
sure.
this. Sorry, this is why you weren't promoted to an actual like main league mod. Shake my head. Anyways, uh, okay. Uh, so, anyways, we have Tom Court now. Obviously, on paper, this is a little weird, but if you look at what he's doing, it's kind of nasty. Like obviously, Coco, like Wham said, top two mon. Usually, like especially now because of move distribution, what it has, like this thing should always go second next to Dragapult because Dragapult's just a monster. Being able to have Coco and then have like Mons not absolutely eviscerated by its terrain if you played against it, it's nice. Tangrowth doesn't give two shits. Tyrantrum's fine. Emboar can take a Thunderbolt. Morpedo, although not great in bulk, is still useful. I know I played it last season when I was in SA. Took a full on Draco from Hydreigon. Ignoring that thing was AV utility. I don't know exactly what Phalanx is meant to do here besides be a fighting type, which I mean, I don't like. I understand you don't really have a great thing to break skills outside of the Needle Queen and Terry Ranchram's EQ, so I guess you want to like be able to more sustainably break skills for Coco if you're not bringing CC for some reason, or like I don't know, you're trying to get Lapras to be a DD setup sweeper. So I guess Phalanx is there just to like break down steals and ease pressure off those two. Which I mean, I'd personally just take like the points between Driftblim and Phalanx and like throw a Pestimine together and probably something else
I would
depending on my points.
probably. Yeah, that's actually a very good point. I would probably throw in a Primeape instead of Phalanx. I think it's around the same point value. So
Yeah, like even in Primates, like having like Vital Spirit and U-turn, like all good moves, good utility. Like you can use it for something. Just like outside of spamming CC, I really don't think Phalanx does much for this team. I mean, I see why he'd want it, but like I feel like he could have chosen a better mon for that role. Overall, the only like negative statement I have is Tyrantrum, and that's because I hate this thing for missing as many head smashes as my superior misses leaf storms, and that's just annoying. But you know, speed wise, defense wise, utility wise, I think this is a really nice team, and Tomcor's a great coach. I've played him. Man's good at what he does, good with what he drafts. So this ought to be fun to see him, probably bully his way to a chip.
Yeah. So I do like his fairy and his steel because he actually has two kind of cores going on here with the fairy steel dragon. Although I'm not sure about Tyrantrum as a dragon as much. And then you have your water grass fire with Embor. I'm not sold on Embor, but that's just me. But Coco Lapras Gmax, I used those both last season. Lapras definitely can run some interesting sets, as some people last season might have seen. But I wanted to go back to the Phalanx because I don't know if he drafted it just because he can get Aura Veil up with Lapras and then can click no retreat. But I'm not sure entirely if that was what the plan was with that thing.
yeah, I think it's just for another setup option. But I think between Coco, Azelf, Tyrantrum, maybe you could consider Drift Blim and maybe an SD Skarmory in there. I think he's trying to get it to abuse Lapras, but I think getting a Primeape to get momentum with U-turn would be better.
Yeah. But back to what you said, his bulk definitely is pretty good, and his hazard control is pretty good as well. You have Skarm for spikes and defog. Then you have Nitto, even though I don't see Nitto running rocks all that often. And then, yeah, all the others as well. So I think it's definitely a solid team. You have a lot of coverage options and a lot of just good mons in general.
Yeah, I think the
I'm still not
biggest.
sold on the Tyrantum, though.
I think Tyrantrum can work on the right hands. I think the biggest visible problem on this team is your hazard removal is Coco, Skarmory, Morpeko, and Driftblim, and only Skarmory and Morpeko want to run hazard removal, and Morpeko is only applicable in some matchups. But Skarmory is a pretty reliable defogger, and I know Tomcor is really good, so I'm pretty sure he's capable of playing around hazard. So I don't think it's going to be a big downfall.
Right,
So
I think.
are we moving on to Wheat's team?
Yeah, Sweet's team.
Right. So first of all, I'm just gonna state this right now. I don't know if Gengar was his first pick mon. I really hope it wasn't. I really hope it was Tornadus, because in my okay, I know what Gmax Gengar does. I think it's cool. I don't think it's like great in terms of like what position he was put himself in. Like, get full opportunity to go Mew, Dragapult, Landos, Mega Mom, Mega Diancie. Like, he had all this opportunity, and like going Gengar. Like, I know this is Gmax, and like this is our signature thing. Like, you want to draft a thing that goes big and then just takes a whole couple mons away. But like the problem with Gmax Gengar is, first of all, it's one of those mons that like you can deny both of its Gmax stabs, which I don't remember what the ghost thing does off the top of my head, but I know like Max Ooze is gonna raise your special attack, and like Gengar appreciates that. But like if you have a steel type that like Gmax Knuckle special variant doesn't KO, like you're gonna be in a huge problem. Which, I mean, then again, we don't have like megas, so something like Mega Aggron's not that concerning, but still having a steel to be able to like for the most part deny Gengar its 3 turns is massive. But besides that, this team is kind of nutty. Torrentee, obviously, everyone loves Torrentee. This thing got Nasty Plot. This thing's gonna just run up on you, click Nasty Plot, click 3 moves. Can you turn? Has HD boots now. It's really nice. So you don't care about rocks. So regen is just that more prevalent for it. Knockoff physical sets are obviously a thing. I know last season I didn't have Torn, I had Thundy, but I still had bulk up Thundy, and that was Flames. We have Garchomp, which Garchomp, I don't know if Zygarde was around. I probably would have taken Zygarde over Garchomp, but Garchomp's still fair. Helps with speed tiers because then you have 110, 121, 103. Memory serves correct. Having a rocker is obviously needed because you don't want to go hazardless because that kind of sucks if you want to break down a fatter team, something like a regen team. So shout out to my man Sklop. He knows what that's all about. Necrozma second stuff rocker. I know Ether is probably like creaming his pants thinking about this Pokemon because he fucking loves this thing.
I love Necrozma.
Yeah, this thing's like nasty. Literally, it's so hard to like prepare for every Necrozma set since there's so much it can do.
You can prep so many different sets with it. Also, just to jump in real quick, he did pick Torrentee first.
He did pick Torrentee. Okay, so Gengar G-Max second. Like Torrentee is like a top 10 Mon, I think. Like he could pick a better like Mon in his position, but like Torrentee's still better than round 1 Gengar G-Max. But yeah. Necro, obviously nasty. This thing can be bulky. This thing sets rocks. This thing knocks off your item. This thing trick rooms. This thing de-dances. This thing autotomizes. This thing weakness policies. Stored power. Literally, you name it. This thing has so much setup. It's got really nice natural bulk. It's really nice. Only thing that I think it doesn't have that would be cool is like teleport, but can't have everything. Next is, I guess, my mascot, which is Rotom Wash. Love this thing to death. It's always going to be a good Pokemon. Defog's always nice, nasty plot on this thing too now. I don't remember if it, for allowing stored power on this thing, I know that came out. I think it's on the Isle of the second
Yes,
DLC.
it is allowed,
so I don't think
I believe.
it is allowed. Oh, that's nasty.
I think so.
Yeah, especially like I know a lot of people have been sleeping on Rotom Wash since Rotom Heat came out this gen with like HD boots and nasty plot, and it's like there's a lot less switch-ins to Thunderbolt / Volt Switch with Overheat if you get a nasty plot up. But like Hydro plus Thunderbolt's still nasty. And like now stored power, like you get a neutral option. Like if you face what's a good example? G-Max Venusaur and you get a nasty plot up, you can hit that thing with stored power, and that's horrible for that thing. You have Arcanine, I think. Oh, go.
Oh, go ahead. I'm going to talk about the overall build.
Oh, quick fun fact: Arcanine does not get drought. Fun fact for you guys.
Oh my god. And this is also why Ether's championship should probably be revoked because he's the biggest clown thinking Arcanine gets drought.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Arcanine, it's a sunsetter, guys.
Yeah, it's the best sunsetter in the format, obviously.
Arcanine, like mentioned previously with Overheat, this thing's nasty now. HD boots, slow pivot teleport, that's nasty. Intimidate's nice. Flash fire if you want to make sure your grass or your steel doesn't want to get absolutely eviscerated by like eruption or some bullshit. I'm looking at you, Torkoal. It's fucking overall Arcanine's a nice Pokemon. Like it's bulky. It gives you now more utility than you expect because teleport's just so nice. Having slow pivot's better than fast pivot for the most part. Well, depending on when you are, usually for the bulkier variant, you want slow pivot. So for Arcanine, that's a wish come true. Speaking of wishes, we came to Florges, which is wraps up. No, it doesn't wrap up. It makes the second part of this Fairy Dragon Steel Core. And I personally love Florges. I know I drafted it last season. Hydreigon is Aegislash, and Florges was a lot of fun to use. Although I know a lot of people diss Florges for like in a meta wise, it doesn't do what you want it. It just kind of sits there, takes up momentum. It doesn't really like. It didn't even get mystical fire through distribution, so it really gets walled by stills now, which sucks. But like I still love Florges, and I still think this was a cool pick. Wish passing into Garchomp, Torn, Gengar, you don't really want to do that because that's kind of risky depending on what you're facing. But yeah, Necro, Garchomp, getting wishes in those, even Rotom Mach if you're, the nasty plot set. or you just want to like stay in and be a piece of shit and exist forever. And then you have your low point mons, which uh, I'm gonna go over quickly. Araquanid, everyone knows what this thing does. This thing sets webs. This thing hits you like a truck with liquidation because for some reason we needed a water bubble as an ability. Uh, that thing's nasty. That thing's got pretty good spit F on top of that. I suggest whoever faces it, look out for the spider web toxic restock set. You're gonna fucking hate if you play that and you're not prepared. Steelix, your ground type, your steel type. Not get bullied by Sludge Wave. Lets you have a steel type, so Dragon Claw, Outrage, all that nonsense. You don't have to put your soul pressure on Florges, which is great. I mean, overall, this team's kind of lacking in speed. I think like 110, and like 103, which like normally isn't bad, but considering you're never gonna be able to scarf Gengar because he's your G Max, like that really sucks to have that open speed gap that like a lot of mons could take abuse of. Like if you have Scarf Nihilego, like your your team's in a real bad position, considering like you can't Scarf Gengar, Torrent's not gonna be able to touch this thing anyways. So like it's nasty. And then there's Kubfu, which I have no idea why this man drafted Kubfu. We just talked about Phalanx and why Tomcor could have taken possibly a better one that provided more utility. But like I'm not looking bad on Phalanx now, considering there's a Kubfu on my screen.
No, I'm pretty
And
sure he just did it because he had 1 point left and he
Yeah,
just
it was
wanted
a
a
meme.
meme.
no, you don't understand either. Like you're gonna get swept. But do you even play the season? No, you don't even play the
I
season.
have not.
Damn, bro. You know what? You were scared. You saw in the future. You know that was coming.
Yeah, I got scared. Kubfu was released. This man drafted it. I just got too scared. You got me.
All right, but like, yeah, no, that's enough of me yapping about this team. I probably should shut up. So, Ether, you talk about this.
One thing I do want to note, which is kind of weird, is in his Dragon Fairy Steel core, usually you have your steel resisting ice, especially for Garchomp, which is quad weak. But Steelix with the ground steel typing doesn't actually resist ice, so it's a little awkward to have to just come in and resist those ice moves. Gengar, it's so it can set up with max ooze, which will set up the +1 special attack. I don't actually remember if it gets any flying moves to up its speed. Let's see. Necrozma, obviously, I love this thing. You can run so many sets. I think the only setup it doesn't get is like Nasty Plot and Cosmic Power. I think those are the only two setup moves it doesn't get. Oh, and Tail Glow. But yeah, you can run like a screen set, you can run a trick room set, you can run physical setup, you can run special setup. I'd love it. It's so hard to just prep for. So Florges, I personally don't like them on just because like Tail said, it doesn't get mystical fire, so it kind of got shafted, sort of like Lele. Torn T, obviously, like Tail said, top mon, has regen, pretty bulky, gets defog, gets pivot move, overall pretty good. Same thing with Wash, it gets defog, decently bulky, can also go offensive, has the pivot move, and yeah. Overall, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. You were finishing up.
I think it's a pretty solid team, but I think it definitely has holes, especially with your kind of main core in Dragon Fairy Steel, where something has to be taking hits for Garchomp in terms of ice. Also, because you're going to be taking your top mons are looking like obviously your top 6 Gengar, Torn, Garchomp, Necrozma, Rotom are your top 5. So like I don't really know what else is taking ice moves besides maybe Rotom Wash. So I'm just not sure about that.
Yeah. So I want to talk about like touch on it like 3 things kind of. So the first thing is the ice type thing that Ether mentioned. Um, yeah, your main switch-ins are gonna be Rotom Wash, Arcanine, and Araquanid. And I also my other things are about this Araquanid pick. It's a great mon. I just don't think it belongs on this team. You really don't need the sticky webs in my opinion. And like for 8 points, I don't think Araquanid. I think it's here purely as an ice resist, and I think like look at this team. It has no ghost answers. You should really pick up something. I was looking at points. If you could, you're 1 point short. But imagine if you had a Crawdon instead of an Araquanid. Oh, this team would actually be top tier. You got no ghost switch-ins though, and sticky web is redundant and is a waste of 8 points. I think.
Yeah, because he could also opt for a normal type as well. I know there are a decent amount of somewhat lower point normal mons. I'm not sure. I'd have to look, but I'm not sure what normal mons are left.
Mm.
But maybe picking up one of those would be okay as well.
There's also like I'm not sure if Alolan Persian's open, but that fills in your speed gap, your speed tiers, as well as provide you a dark type and pivoting.
It
Um,
actually is open at 7 points. It's
yeah,
open.
but then you would need a your ice resist would be really whack. So I'm not sure. Ghost and ice types, specifically ghost, but like those are two common offensive types. I would say that like there's some drafts like you're just not gonna have any answers to it, and ghost is very prevalent in this meta. But since you have a Gengar, I feel like it's just so weird not having a ghost resist.
So what you're telling me is this man loses the Frostlass.
Yes.
I mean, we're gonna ignore the floor just spit F that like just walls this thing, but like
Yeah.
no, it's understandable. Yeah, like this team is interesting. I feel like in the end, like I'll advocate for a Alolan Persian. I love Alolan Persian. Parting shots always would be great. Good speed tier, dark type you always want. You don't want to get mono set up by a psychic type and then just get Ren for your pockets and then like lose the game. Yeah, no, obviously I don't think Miltank's around, so I think that kind of sucks. That would be a good mon to have on this team.
Goated mon.
Bro,
I love Miltank.
I'm still trying to figure out why that thing has 100 base speed, but you know. All right, you know what? I'm not paid here to like talk about two teams for like 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
This
We've
recording is.
actually. I think it's been 22 minutes. We gotta speed up.
Also, just saying, Xploud's still out there at 6 points. Good
Okay.
mon.
This is why Ether is literally a clown. Anyways.
I love Xploud.
All right.
Okay, next team.
We'll do speed runs
Charlotte,
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte Celesteelas. First thing I'm looking at this team. Where is your Edge Quake combo switch in? Like I'm not looking. Like I'm looking and I don't see one. Like Serena, Grass type. Okay, you take an EQ. You don't take Stone Edge. You have Magnezone, shattered by Earthquake. Don't care about Stone Edge. Komo's got nice bulk, but you don't want to dedicate that thing to dealing with that problem. Charizard gets bopped. Excadrill gets bopped. Clefable, depending on what's firing, is probably most likely gonna get bopped. Slowbro, Galarian form lost
Good
a
mon
good
doesn't
amount
fit
of
on this
bulk.
team. It does not fit on this team at all, though.
It doesn't fit.
No,
us.
definitely not.
Oh,
I don't see what
your
this-
fastest mon is Charizard.
Your fastest mon is Charizard. I mean, you have Sand, but like
Oh,
I your fastest
Liepard,
mon is
but-
Charizard. Oh, Liepard.
Like
Whatever. Oh,
you're
yeah.
bringing Lampard one match, so it's just
Yeah.
very
Also,
rough.
what's Audino doing on this team that Clefable already doesn't do?
Also, Liepard's speed doesn't matter some of the time just because Prankster's already giving you priority
Yeah.
anyway.
like
But,
there's
like-
so many redundant mons in this.
Yeah. Like, okay. First of all, why do you have a Magnezone? An Excadrill. Like, you get a pure Electric type, or like.
You also have a G-Max Charizard, which cannot run boots, and your removal is Excadrill, Serena, and Mantine. Serena is not reliable enough to survive like the whole match and consistently get out rocks. It doesn't want to click Rapid Spin. It want to click other moves. It want to be offensive. Excadrill, same thing. Wants to be offensive. Doesn't want to be wasting time clicking rocks. And Mantine has a rough matchup in most cases.
And Manton, you have to run Boots if you're running it as a defogger,
Yeah.
or else it just takes 25% each time it comes into clear.
And likely when you defog, you're gonna get toxic as you go for defog, which means you're gonna get whittled or you're gonna get set up on. Even a haze might not save you depending on the. So
Yeah. I think he has to take away like half of this team and recrunch with the points he has. Also, what is this dude in his 4x weakness thing? Charizard, 4x weak to rocks. Komodo, 4x weak to fairy. Magnezone, 4x weak to ground. Mantine, 4x weak to electric. I'm seeing a trend here.
another thing is like you're big, like you don't. I wouldn't say you have any giant breakers either. That might just be me actually. Okay, no, I'm just gonna take that back.
No,
The
no,
only,
no. Don't
because I
disrespect
mean, you
Charizard.
have
I do.
Charizard that G maxes and has a flying move, and then obviously Wildfire, but yeah, that's about it, except for maybe Como setting up.
No, extra drill breaks late game, but like you have like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, actually, wait. How does this dude break a bulky water if Magnezone is not in this game?
How do you break a gastrodon?
the
As well,
Clef
never
with
mind.
T-Bolt. Yeah,
You bring
woo.
Serena, but like Serena is not reliable to be brought to a lot of matchups. Like it's got triple axle now, and I think it's best offensive, and it doesn't want to switch into like in this
The
team.
most
It looks like Serena wants to switch into attacks and sponge them, and it's just not gonna do that.
No.
So the fact that most waters get ice type moves. So
This is
I
just a
don't know.
very weirdly built team.
Obviously, he's gonna have a huge problem against like the Lotties. Like this, a Lottie's gonna run his pockets.
Yeah, he's gonna have to really rely on his prep to get through most matches.
Because I mean, you have Gigalith Excadrill, but
Like your opponent is forced to prep for a lot, but it's also like you're not working with pieces that work together well. These pieces are good on like different teams, but when you just like put them all together and they just look very weird and don't like real in theory they won't work together. So
I mean, hey, we could be wrong. There's things like not everyone can see, and that's understandable. Like if you
yeah,
have something and it works, like we're not gonna bash you. This is just like from a three-person perspective, we do not see the connecting dots for this overall point.
I mean, I know this
And
is my first time looking at all the drafts like super in depth, so we're
yeah,
probably gonna miss stuff. So, but like
somehow,
first look on it, it looks very scuffed.
the first
yeah.
look on it, I thought this was
I thought
Jake
that,
Kuma's team again,
oh,
because I saw Clef, G-Max, Charizard. I'm like, God damn it, not this shit again.
Yeah, because I like your first four Mons. Your first four Mons are solid, but like, I don't know.
I don't know.
he's got
All right.
solid mons, just weird.
It'll just come down to execution in the end.
Yes.
All right. We don't have time to make like a 3-hour documentary on these PRs. Olli.
Ollie.
Basel Bastiodons. If I pronounce that wrong, my apologies. I do not pronounce shit great when I don't know how it's said. Mew. I'm assuming this was round run. Mew's always a good pick, even like for round like pick 4, understandable. Mew's just always gonna be nasty. You can't. This thing is literally just a better Necrozma because, I mean, like you theoretically can only like prep for as much as you can expect. And if he just shows up with like I said, you didn't even like think about, like you're fucked. Like if you prep for 3 attacks and see Resto, Calm Mind, or like Resto, Conflict Power, and you're fucked. But yeah, no, Mew nasty, can do literally anything. Obviously, a lot of players have trouble freeing it out of its defensive position, because I know there's a lot of drafts where people draft Mew and then they force it to be supportive, where like it runs defog, it runs rocks, like it's your hazard control mon. That's
It's
always
gonna
bad.
yeah, it's gonna be forced into a hazard removal role in this team.
Yeah, like prime example, what not to do, or what to do with Mew when you drafted
Mhm.
is last season I took Mew, and then I proceeded to draft 5 Stealth Rockers and 5 Defoggers along with Mew, so I had the versatility to bring hazards and control it
Yeah.
at my will outside of Mew. Like that, you need to be able to.
You have to keep your opponents guessing, basically, on what set you're bringing.
There's
Not-
way more offensive sets that Mew can bring than defensive, and if you can't like, they have to prep for Nasty Plot, they have to prep for SD Flame Charge, they have to prep for Dragon Dance, they have to prep for Demon Mew, which is the Cosmic Power one. Like this team is not built around Mew, but still, I think it's a stupid dumb team. I think like Mew, your opponent can probably guess what set it's gonna be depending on matchup, but there's so many things you have to prep for against on this team. Rillaboom is super solid. You have to prep for bulky Leech Seed, SD, bulk up. There's a acrobatics set. You got Melmetal. You have to with the Gmax move with the basically the torment effect. You have to have at least 2 moves on your Pokemon to check that. Premier Name Shifu. 2 offensive waters, which is kind of weird, but like
Bro, you're ignoring Rillaboom. This thing is nasty.
this thing is insane.
Okay, now because like Bulu gets Grassy Glide, this might be a little pushed away. Okay, this thing is ridiculous. Priority stab in your terrain, U-turn. Like having a grass with U-turn is always nice.
Yeah, this is just a very offensive team. It's a very scary offensive team, which means your Mew might be pushed into more defensive slots, but I think that's fine.
Yeah, also to go back to Melmetal, I personally pushed to put it up a point from last season just because, like, it doesn't have a band, but you can just click your button, get double health. You can click Max Knuckle once, and boom, you have a band. And you just hit like a truck, basically everything. There's not a lot of good switch-ins.
Yeah. I mean, like there's a bunch of holes in this team, but I think you can just bring hyper offense each week and get at least an even score. You just have so many offensive threats. I feel. You got two of the best special breakers in my opinions, Premier and Vikavolt. I think Vikavolt is very slept on, especially since it's got like agility, bug buzz, throat spray. You got Specs Noivern potentially, or Shifu. You always need to like throw a Rocky Helmet, or Shifu Melmetal Rillaboom. That's insane physical. Oh, what did I just do? Insane physical pressure.
Because if you bring Urshifu and the other team doesn't bring a Rocky Helmet, like you can just have a field day, honestly. So you kind of force that prep.
Wait,
Hazards
what
are
happened to Melmetal on my screen?
just refresh. I escaped it. Don't worry.
All right.
You went away.
Melmetal is there. Don't worry. But like, okay, so you probably and I kind of see a bunch of holes in this team, but I think you can get away with it easily if you just bring the right sets.
I mean, again, this is another team that it just depends on the execution. But
Yeah.
I honestly think this is an easier to execute team, just because not as many mons can switch into a lot of what you have.
All right, Melmetal's there. Don't worry, guys. It's there.
Nah, he's gone. Be gone, Melmetal.
All right. Anything else?
And quickly we can talk about speed. 100, yeah, 100 obviously Mew. Lycanroc I think is 110 or 112. I think it's 112.
Got 112.
Yeah.
And Noivern 120 what?
123.
123. I know it's above Torn. I can't remember if it's 123 or
I mean,
126.
if you go to the Shell Armor summary tab, you can just see all the
Big
stats.
brain.
Okay, but I don't
That's
got
what I've
time
been
for,
using.
I don't got time for this. All right, obviously speed wise, you know, not too bad speed tiers. You have one for each 10 bracket and a little above, so it's not bad. Webs, allowing your Shifu, definitely, especially to outspeed everything that is called a levitating Latios or Tornadoes, that's higher speed, and you know, knock it out with Wicked Blow, CC, pivot, U-turn, do whatever you want. Primarina under Webs is actually kind of scary because all those things got like I think base 60 speed. Like you're gonna outspeed a lot of things that aren't invested in like the higher speed tiers.
You also got flip turn now.
Oh yeah, flip turn. I don't know how often flip turns can be used because I haven't seen much like current Primarina play. I've only seen past Primarina play since I'm doing team tours right now, and I don't think I've actively seen anyone draft Primarina and utilize it that great in the current meta.
I think it
Because
only not runs flip turn if it's a common set, but just imagine flip turning into a Urshifu, a Rillaboom, a Melmetal. It's insane.
yeah, having the pivot on this team, like Rillaboom U-turn, your Shifu U-turn, Prim flip turn, Ivern U-turn, Volt Volt switch,
Mew, whatever you want.
yeah, Mew literally whatever the fuck you want, and into like the breakers you have, like the main problem is like your bulk, like Rillaboom, Melmetal have great defensive, like well, not defensive,
Potential.
have yeah, like, Melmetal not caring about EQ with his natural stats, that's lit. Rillaboom's got good overall stats to tank a hit. You don't want to usually make it do that, but you know it can if you need it. Prim's got great spit out of the ass, annoying. Piloswine's always commonly known to be a pain in the ass to kill. This thing doesn't fucking die. And then everything under like Piloswine kind of is frail. Skunkcake doesn't really take that many moves. Pyro doesn't take a fucking Mach punch. I have no idea what the hell Cargo's doing on this team, but you know what? Like you have what a stealth rocker and Piloswine, sticky webs in the Bike of Volt, defog on a skunk tank, stealth rock's gonna like rock you need. I mean, I guess Cargo's really actually here to provide more control and setting. So I guess this is overall for the Mew, which is what I said earlier. So you know what, I'm not gonna bash it too much on the Carkle, but definitely questionable, and it's gonna depend on how much you utilize this team. Is this team like after Prim? Is all like these are mons you're gonna have to play well to like get good value. These aren't immediately good value mons.
I mean, you still have 5
Like
solid mons, though.
you have 5 like
Actually,
extremely
you have Piloswine, so yeah, you have 6 pretty solid mons just
yeah.
in general, and then you can just fill in whatever holes you have with any of the other mons you have on your team.
All right, let's move on.
All right, the man with the no logo, Arkcadian.
Arkcadian, yes.
All right, this man prompted for a smaller team overall in points. Only went with 10 mons, but these are some really nice mons.
First 3 Mons are Mon or no switch-ins.
Yeah, I personally like drafting a few less mons just to have like just a solid roster.
Yeah. You're going to have more holes, but that just means you have to play better.
Wait, I
Yeah.
just realized he has single strike. The other guy just had a rabbit strike. I'm so stupid.
Yeah,
Rapid
that's what
Strike
I was
is
saying
still
with the Rocky
yeah.
helmet.
I mean, Rapid Strike is just not as good on that team, on his team, but it's still under Shifu.
Yeah, this team is nasty though. At least the
This
first
team
3.
only has one form of rocks, but but the thing is, with 3 giant breakers, you don't. I feel like you don't need the rocks because rocks are mostly there to get things in range, chip them slowly down. But you got 3 mons that just instantly KO something.
Okay. Now I have a question. If you take out Feeny from this team, where is this man's dark move switching?
Or Shifu. It's got decent
Switch
bulk, 100 HP, 100 defense.
Yeah, 100, 160.
Yeah.
But you don't want to force that. Like, usually
If you
things
run
would
bulk
knock
up
off.
leftovers, that's fine.
Okay, and as soon as you're special.
If there's a special one, you go Gastrodon Licky Licky. Dark type users
I mean,
don't have coverage for both of them.
I mean, usually, but like dark types can definitely push him. Like Aegislash,
Yeah,
Hat's obviously neutral.
you can
There's
get
a Horn
pressured by
Cresselia,
it.
Lolowak. Bro, there's some good dark type food here.
True. I still think it's a very solid team. You got
Very
you your opponents have to prep for both no switch-ins in your first 3, setup in Dragonite and Calm Mind Feeny, and of course your first 3 can also have options to set up. And also like stupid bulk in Feeny, Cresselia, Gastrodon, Licky Licky.
Also, Cresselia Cosmic Power.
Also Aegislash you can put in as stupid bulk depending on the set you run.
Aegislash can also run physical or special.
Yeah, of course.
So.
or mixed if you're trying to kill a
Alright.
not Tyrantrum. What's that
My
stupid
poor
Santa?
Tyranitar.
Tyranitar, that's what it's called. Yeah, no, fuck that thing.
Oh
You
my
got
god.
3 ghost types though. Like I
Yep.
was gonna say Trevenant's a sleeper pick, but then I realized you got 3 ghost types.
Yeah, no. Gee, now I'm looking about this. Nearly none of your mons on your team like to catch a knockoff. Like they all want their item, except I guess you or Shifu can like live without it.
Well, obviously the Gmax mon doesn't care about the item,
Yeah, but
but
Had doesn't have
but
the.
it
Yeah, the
doesn't want
hat
to take
doesn't
a
appreciate it.
knockoff in general.
Yeah, you're very knockoff weak, but I think you can play around it. I think Trevenant's very redundant. Let's see what's at 4 points. Can you get like Eldegoss or something? That'd be nice.
Oh no, Eldegoss fucking sucks. I drafted it
Okay,
last
well.
season. I did not bring it to the goddamn game.
Wait, what do you even need a grass type for? You don't.
Uh,
Yeah, I guess it's a ground switching. Yeah, you need a grass type. Never mind. You got Tangela right there. All right, drop it for Tangela.
See, at least that's a good Pokemon. So like, I can see that being brought. But like, fuck Eldrazi.
Okay. Yeah, if you drop Tangela, I would be very, very happy with his team. You got more stupid bulk.
No, what's cool though is Magic Bounce hat to keep rocks off for Dragonite, so you don't have to
Yes,
always
the
slot AC
multi-scale.
boots. That's cool.
But other than that, your only removal is Dragonite and Feeny.
Yes, I love defogging my terrain away so I can get toxic.
Yeah, woohoo.
Yeah, it's
That's
hazard
the only
removal is
reason I
also a
hate
slight
Feeny.
issue.
Yeah, but like Ether, you don't have good taste.
The way this team is built, though, you can easily play around rocks by either magic bouncing them back or like only Dragonite. Mine's actually okay, never mind. Also Marowak,
Full
but
watch.
like you can play around hazards, and you
Yeah,
don't need hazards.
you have Hatterene, or you could just straight up kill their rocker.
I think it's a very scary team to prep for, and it seems very fun to prep with. So
All right,
Hey.
next one.
W Aggs.
My
Alright.
boy Aggs.
W Aggs. W Aggs. W
Aggs,
Aggs.
W,
Aggs. If you watch this video, I'm gonna let you know I'm your second biggest fan, only next to my ego that also loves you, which is your first biggest fan. Fuck Ether. He doesn't know shit.
What? Oh no.
all right,
Alright.
we got Rillaboom Gmax. I think is the
Nutty
best
Mon.
Gmax mon right now.
Where are your actual switch-ins? Let's be honest.
Gmax Rillaboom is insane, and it might be 18 points in the future, but 17 points is the. Okay, basically everything we talked about the earlier Rillaboom times it by 2. You don't need an item on it. You can easily just run Actually, no, you have to run a memory. So acrobatics won't be strong in the neutral, but you still get that speed boost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that
can still
speed
run
boost.
it for the speed boost, and then you run Max Knuckle for the +1 attack,
Mhm.
and boom, you have a band with +1 speed.
And you have a freaking. You set your own grassy terrain, and then you have a 160 base power grass G max move. That is insane. That mon is terrifying.
Yeah, because you do what the other two starters can't do, which is set your own terrain, because your G-Max move doesn't set terrain because it's a special move.
Mm-hmm. You got the grassy terrain Heatran core. Jellicent is a very good water type. Mandibuzz never dies. Porygon kind of never dies. Does Floette get a... What's your cleric on this team?
It gets Heal Bell.
It
I
gets
think.
Heal Bell? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very solid team overall.
No. Shout out to my boy Passinian. Love that Pokemon. Good fighting type. Speed is kind of whack. I think it goes like 145, which is a Celigor, and then 110, and then like 90 something, which is Nidoking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speed's
Yeah,
probably your biggest problem. And then I feel like I'm saying this again, but like you're just gonna have to play. Your Mandibuzz is arguably the most reliable defogger in the game, but still, that is your only defogger besides Latias, which doesn't want to run defog all the time.
Your hazard setters are Nidoking, which usually just wants to bring Vortex. Heatran, I can see bringing rocks, but sometimes you're gonna want to do something else. And then you have Spikes into Celigor. Which,
Spikes to Selgor, I
and-
love that pick. Great idea.
Quake
Great.
Edge resistance isn't phenomenal per se.
But you got a Mandibuzz, which just eats everything anyways.
Bro,
Even
he has a jealous. Fuck the
yeah, he
mana
has a
buzz. He has a
Jellison too.
jealous.
Jellison
Yeah.
and Porygon.
Really. Who cares about Edgequick? I'm not dying until
Yeah.
2030.
Yeah, Mandibuzz never dies.
All right. So I don't think we have actually any like negative critiquing too much outside of
No,
hazards.
yeah, I think this
Hazards
would
though.
be this or Tomcor would probably be my number one team right now.
But we have still more 6 teams to go. And speaking of which, Ivy. Now this man really just drafted 3 goddamn mythical Pokemon and said, "Yeah, I'm doing this."
I
Actually, no,
must scroll
4.
down. Okay, there we go.
There's a full-on Shaman, and then
Yes.
there's Snorlax Max. I don't think that was taken last season in SA. So this is
Yeah.
new. It's kind of annoying because its Max move is shit considering you can't hold a berry for Snorlax.
hmm
So you
But
actually might
it's like
fix that.
it's a very very good ghost switching. It's probably one of the best ghost answers right now in the format, besides like Alolan Muck or something.
Yeah, no, like this thing, like if Ivy plays Wheat, like he has no stress on the Max Gengar because that thing's never gonna beat Snorlax Max as long as it's played semi properly.
I mean, it just has so much health. I think it reaches like 1,000 something health when Gmax. I don't know.
I think
Let's
that's how
see.
that works.
Yeah, it's 1,048 health at 252.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of health.
It's got decent coverage too. You got like Heat Crash, Darkest Lariat, Earthquake to raise your Spadef. You don't need to. Steel Spike. You get Steel Spike somehow. I know. Iron Head, I think. So,
Heavy
um,
Slam.
oh, Heavy Slam. Yes.
True.
Your hazard removal is Galarian Weezing. I don't know why this whole division does not like hazard removal, but so Victini is going to be forced into running boots, and Weezing is which is not preferable because Victini is an absolute beast, but a Weezing is a pretty reliable defogger. You got webs
Uh,
because you got 4 Mons with base 100, so yeah.
yeah, but like
love
two of those mons with webs is nasty. Like Tail Glow on one of these mons, and then you can have Victini just literally any set does damage. And then I think like Jirachi and Shaman really matter what you're bringing.
Mm-hmm. And with the meta right now, Manaphy actually has been seeing defensive play too. So you got defensive Manaphy. Those base 100s are actually really like they have the potential to do so much. This is a very potential filled team, and it can be insane if you prep right with it.
Right.
All right, next we got Chris and the Miami Overheats.
It's a pretty cool logo.
It is a cool
This one.
logo. Hopefully, it's
All
not just
right.
something off the internet, but Dragapult, best mon in the format. Good start.
Also, I love Gliscor as well.
Gliscor, the best ground flying type in the format. Good start.
Gmax Grimmsnarl, not your best thing, but you know what? With what you
Decent.
have under it, with
Toxapex, the
my God.
greatest ice switching in the format.
Pokemon Ice Switching, solid mod. Next.
No. Toxapex plus Dragapult plus Gliscor is probably going to be the most.
Yes, and T-Spikes with a Dragapult seems super solid. And Gliscor. Honestly,
With
you
the
can just run
Hex.
T-Spikes every match and just stall everyone with Gliscor. That mon does not die.
Also, getting extra damage on Hex for free if you decide to just run T-Spike's Hex seems pretty good.
Yo, Ether, I don't think you know this, but that's what we were hinting at when we said
I do know. That's why I said it.
Ether's brother, if you watch this video, please get your like brother like some tips on how to play this game. He really doesn't know what he's doing.
No.
The only immediate thing that I would criticize this on is the fact that you have a cricket tune and your hazard removal is suboptimal. Gliscor is a very good defogger, but Gliscor's best set is SD offensive. So if you can take away the pressure from Gliscor to defog, that would just make Gliscor an unexpected threat. Like that mon is scary good. You got DLC moves like Power Whip, Psychic Fangs, and just Earthquake is great. You got Acrobatics if you really need Facade. Uh, Mostly Facade and Earthquake, but you can run Acrobatics occasionally. So
I mean, you do have the Rotom Heat, which obviously you might want to be running the Nasty Plot, Overheat, Volt Switch set or whatnot. But I mean, you can still run the defog on it.
yeah, Rotom Heat's pretty solid, especially since you have a Justified Mon and Gmax Grimmsnarl. Those are um, two great knockoff switch-ins. Now you
I
know.
mean, go ahead.
I know you have Cricketune. I don't know why you have Cricketune actually. I guess Sticky Webs, but you don't need Sticky Webs on this team. And a better bug type would probably be preferable.
Also, don't forget Avalugg gets a Rapid Spin,
Yes,
especially with boots now.
yes.
Doesn't look terrible.
Avalugg has a niche in the meta though, so it's not going to be able to come to every match. So, which means Gliscor
Yeah.
is going to run defog a lot of the times, which is okay, but it's just not the most optimal. But that's fine
Yo,
because you're building around Dragapult, not Gliscor. So okay, in hindsight, that's fine.
Dragapult Rotom Heat though, that's flames.
Yes, it is Flames. I wonder who else got that.
Not the person that threw his draft literally halfway within the draft.
Um,
We don't talk about that issue. But yeah, no,
I think this is a contender for best draft right now.
I really just wish he got a better Gmax mon and had better hazard control. This
Yeah,
team's
but
still gonna
Gmax
be
Mom isn't
nasty.
bad. Is it like his first two moms didn't appreciate knockoff. His Gmax mom solves that, and he also's got a Cobalion. So I think it's actually a well-rounded team besides the hazards. But this entire division does not like hazards, so I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, no.
All right, we're
Uh,
at 51 minutes.
All right.
we're also at bucket.
Lord Bucket.
Okay,
Lord.
so Bucket, this is the only team I've really sort of looked at. Probably has one of the scariest looking combos per se in Venusaur Torkoal.
Okay, listen. Just because you had Torkoal last season, you don't need to jack that Pokemon off.
No, no,
Okay?
no, no.
But
Just
Venusaur
because
is
the
an insane
Sun
Pokemon.
plus Chlorophyll Venusaur Gmax, it's not even Torkoal. It's just Venusaur and Sun.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the fucking Celesteela that likes to settle.
Celesteela. Okay, well you're running Celesteela in a Sun team, so that's kind of whack. But otherwise, you built around it decently.
Yes, I love my Buzzwole that likes the sun too. You know what?
I don't know
What
why
else?
Buzzwole is here.
I,
It's primarily a knockoff switch-in and a ground resist. And I know you got Cinder. Actually, okay, I kind of see that. Okay, never mind.
yeah. Why are you carrying double fires, dog? I mean, like Cinderace is cool and all, but like you have a Torkoal and you have a Mega. Like the Venusaur thing, I get. Like the Venusaur Torkoal, that makes sense to me. But then you have a Buzzwole, which like I you want a knockoff answer? Yeah, I would have suggested something like Terrakion. I think that's better speed wise. Overall, yeah, it's decent with Lando with Sheer Force. That's a really good one. I think that's a really
So
good
can
pick.
set rocks.
Bro, his removal is Torkoal and Cinderace.
Oh, Pog, best.
Yeah.
I know you
Oh,
got
God.
Cinderace to abuse Sun, but Cinderace is very strong. But it's not a Mon where you just spam Pyro Ball in Sun 7 times and win. It'll put up pressure, but you don't need that pressure when you have a Sheer Force Landorus.
Yeah, you have a Sheer Force Landorus. Honestly, okay, this team punches holes, but like this team does not take punching back, especially if it's a fire move.
Yeah, that Seismith Toad is asking to be Solar Beamed.
Yeah, honestly, Obstagoon, cool Pokemon. I actually recently just drafted it in a reunion league with some friends, and I haven't gotten. I got like week one in, and I actually got to play with it, and it's actually really fun. I think it's a cool mon. With what I can do. Defiant is nice for intimidate users. You can always do the gut set to absorb status, and then like parting shot's always nice for pivot. And it's got like decent enough coverage to get around. So like I think Obstagoon is gonna be like slept on if you play it well, especially like with his hands grimacing, like he's really plotting to kick some ass. The Alolan Raichu, I guess you just really did it for the speed, because like Don't tell me he's gonna bring some bullshit mom with like electric terrain, please. No,
Is he
stop.
trying to bring Terrain Pulse Venusaur?
No, stop. We don't
Yeah,
need these
because
ideas.
that's what I was wondering. I was about to ask the same thing. Like, Alolan Raichu is cool. Like, it just got Rising Voltage. But, like, what mon is setting Electric Terrain to get use out of Surge Surfer plus Rising Voltage?
You also don't need Terrain Pulse on Venusaur. So if you're trying to build some manual electric terrain here, it's not looking good.
No, it's not. Speed tiers, you have 101 in the Landorus and 19 in the Cinderace. You
110
have
in Raichu.
110 in Raichu, and then you have Webs and Swadloon, and you have Sun Boosted Venusaur, obviously. Webs with Buzzwole, that's nasty. Webs with Lando, that's nasty. Cinderace really doesn't need webs unless you're facing, like, I don't even know, because most things that are outspeeded are actually flying type, so you don't. And I think, like, the other things are, like, Celigor and Jolteon, which now Celigor dies to, like, Ember, and then Jolteon doesn't ever get drafted anymore.
Now,
So, like, I don't.
one thing you could end up doing with the Cinderace is having it run boots and then court changing someone else's webs as well. That might be something, but that's also kind of
Wow,
matchup
dog.
based.
You know what you could also do? You could put your boots on the Torkoal, rapid spin them away, and then, just get to the point where, like, Torkoal just is literally gonna outspeed the web setter and kill it.
Just
Because,
Smoke
like,
Shash. Yeah.
yeah, no, literally, actually, what web setter wants to deal with Torkoal? None of them.
Facts.
Yeah, you're obviously gonna run I don't even know if a mod on this team gets Trick Room, but you're obviously gonna run the Trick Room Specs Torkoal.
No, literally nothing on the stream gets fucking Trick Room.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
I
actually.
didn't think it did.
I think the way you
Well,
find success is having Landorus, Venusaur, and Sun carry you.
yeah. And uh, this has come to my realization. You might have actually drafted 2 fucking fires, because where the hell is your Ice Beam switching?
Oh, true. That makes sense. But Cinderace doesn't want to switch it on any move. So
God, you know what? Bucket, I don't know what your draft was before the grace period activated. I'm looking at it now. These are all different elements that really don't complement each other. You got some cool things. I personally love Celesteela. I don't think Celesteela should be on this team, though. Obviously, it's hard to find a steel that pairs well in a Sun team. I think Empoleon over Seismitoad would have been nice here, and like at a different ground. Like, actually, yeah, no, you have 2 rounds too. Jesus Christ, this team overall, like, there's so many different things, and you're trying to go in so many different directions, and I really don't think this has been your best draft plan. I think you're gonna, like, want to sit down and, like, really have somebody that, like, not in more depth, but, like, it's like that has like the idea, like, they want to stick to one thing. They don't want to branch out and be good at all these different things, and then, like, end up not being good at these things, except, like, Sun Venusaur, that's lit, and then
yeah,
Lander aside just kills things. But, overall, I think this is definitely it's definitely a learning experience. Good luck in your games, because you can still kill a lot of fucking shit with what you've drafted.
yeah. It's got a lot of holes, but Venusaur is so good that you might be able to carry you through.
What do you mean, bro? Choice Bandit Celesteela does like 35 to Victini with Heavy Slam.
Celesteela
I don't
is
get it.
very good, but I think Venusaur is the star of his team, and I think Gmax Venusaur is absolutely insane.
Okay, and you think making Ether like the SA mod was a good idea? I don't want to hear
Alright,
this.
moving on.
Wildfangs.
This
Did he
is
actually draft Galarian round 1?
no. He dropped a bunch of mons for Galarian Darm Deoxys D, if I recall correctly.
Wait, what did he pick? What did he pick up round 1? Can somebody tell me?
Zapdos.
Zapdos, and he dropped said Zapdos for
All right.
Darmanitan.
Okay, Zapdos is a really cool mon. I don't know exactly what your thought process was dropping Darm. Now,
His thought
you have
process is to use Pikachu, which can't hold Light Ball, by the way, static everything, and just win with G Darm, Cart, Infernape, Salamence, Titor.
no. Okay, I will back up Wildfangs on this. I had just recently finished in shout out to my man Miles Gustavo SSR. I got away with drafting because I just wanted to try something new. I did like hyper offense. I did G-Darm, and I did Tapu Bulu, and I did Heatran, but I dropped the Heatran for Charizard X. And the reason I did that is because I want you to name me a switch in between Charizard X, Tapu Bulu, and Galarian Darm out of 10. Because there is fucking none of them.
Galarian Darm is actually it's not as good as everyone thinks, but it has the
No,
potential to be good on the right team. It's just it's very hard to build that right team because people don't have the right mentality about it.
No, yeah, and like prime example, right? Galarian Darm gets walled by any bulky water in the game. Milotic, Suicune, Vaporeon, you fucking name it. What does this man got? This man got Kachana. Fuck your water types.
But
And
Kartana
then you
doesn't want
have
to switch
obviously,
into it.
I know, obviously that's why like you'd probably want a more balanced overall grass that works than like a highly aggressive like Kartana. Like
Mm.
Shaman would still do relevantly decent here. Tapu Bulu, obviously, I'd recommend because Tapu Bulu just tanky enough to take hits, unleash everything its health back. It's just nice overall. But what you did draft, Infernape, Kartana, Galarian Darm, speed wise, 95, 108, 109. You have Salamence, that's 100. You have
Starmie or
Starmie, I think
Bombi.
that's a Starmie or Bombi. Starmie's what, 110, 115?
115,
115,
125,
yeah.
115, then 124.
Yeah, so your speed tiers are really like well knit together on top of web, so like you really shouldn't be losing speed games.
The only problem, I think, your hazard removal. You have a G Darm, and your hazard removal is Starmie, Salamence, and Ribombee.
Wait, hold on. My man Kartana gets defogged, doesn't he?
Yes, it does, but you're running
But
that
like,
1
what
in 7
Kartana
matches.
is wanting to defog?
Only if you have a
Uh,
giant physical threat on the other team that you don't have an answer to, like a Melmetal. Even Melmetal, like Kartana's not doing much back because it's stupid. But like
yeah, no.
another thing, your fire types, your two biggest physical threats are weak to fire, and your fire resist don't really want to switch in on a fire move, specifically Lava Plume that can burn. Besides Starmie, I guess Starmie is okay. It's just not super bulky on a strong fire type.
Now, obviously, you're running special T-Tar.
No, okay, actually, T-Tar is exactly where I want to go with this conversation. What the fuck is it doing on this team, dog? Like,
I think on paper it fits a lot of his holes, but it's not gonna work out in practicality.
okay, I love T-Tar to bits and pieces. I love me a Sand team. Like, I would even advocate for, like, Charizard or Y plus Tyranitar, because that's still a good team. But, like, bro, okay, you have a Dark type, that's fair. I get that. But, like, there's so many other Dark types. You have Stealth Rocks, you can Stealth Rock. Hell, I'd rather Stealth Rock than Infernape. Because Tyranitar just got so much other shit it can do. It can be special, it can be physical, it can tank. Really dislike is you have a Salamence, and then your next best EQ switch in is Rabombi in terms of resistances. Now, I don't know what the fuck you want to do about that, but like, it just adds to your EQ spam problem. With
His
Deox,
solution is Deoxys defense tanking everything, but that's not the role of Deoxys defense. Everyone misunderstands its role. Its role is not to sit there and take every hit in existence. So he's going to get pressured down easily. It's not going to get the value that it could, which means you got it for 15 points. The way you're using it, it's not worth.
I think that's a poor investment for his draft plan.
Yes.
Hazard setter wise, you have Stealth Rocks. No, you have Spikes. I think you have Stealth Rocks and Spikes on Deoxys, right? I think that,
I think so.
okay, either way, I know it gets Spikes. I don't remember if it gets Stealth Rocks. You have that on Deoxys. You have Stealth Rock and Fernape. You don't really want to run that unless you're fucking tech and you run like Taunt, Slack Off, Stealth Rock, some bullshit move for hitting. You have Rabombi set webs, Omnistar sets rocks.
He had a
Honestly, you don't
stall
really have a
path.
reliable hazard set.
He dropped 4 Mons because he dropped 4 like super bulky Mons to go for an offensive build, and I think that's just he didn't want to play like stall. But I feel like he had Zapdos, Toxapex, Ferrothorn, and Sylveon. If you just use those Mons to sponge hits and pivot, and then draft a bunch of offensive threats, I think that would have been an insane draft. But instead, you went like I feel like you should have went a mix between what you had before and what you ended up with, because this just has a lot of holes.
And I think like offensively, this team's gonna be really hard to like not have when you're playing against is like to not have alt pressure apply to you. That's gonna be really difficult. Like on a defensive standpoint, like if you get like
Basically, once you get the pressure
if you,
started, it's gonna be really good for you. But I feel like you're gonna have a hard time. I feel like you're gonna get pressured before you can set the pressure.
yeah, and I feel like his only like switch like his backpedal out of that situation is like going the Ox defense, sponging two hits, like sponging a hit to get in, sponging a hit as you teleport out into like the one you need to get in, and you had to like make sure that thing stayed in. At that point, like the Ox's defense is just going to be relied on too much to do like a role it shouldn't be doing.
All right. You want to say anything else about this team?
I feel like this is an ether draft. It just looks really bad.
All right.
Okay, let's go to
All right.
Arkaes. Don't know how to say this team.
The Arkansas? It's Arkansas, dog. That's me. This is a Cinder's G-Max team because
Okay,
you know
I'm
this man
checking.
really just doesn't want.
Okay, I am when I see Cinderace Gmax, I am instantly checking your hazard removal, and it is Rotom and Latios.
Pog. No, there's a
Braviary.
Braviary right there.
You're
Bro,
not
there's
running.
America right there.
Okay. I really hope you drafted Cinderace Gmax knowing that you cannot run boots on it.
I really hope you realized your only way to break a bulky water is Rotom.
Don't worry, guys. Latios also gets defogged, by the way. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna want to run that.
Yep, definitely.
Oh my god. Alright. Speeds wise, 110 Latios, 119 on the Cinderace, 105 on the Nihilego, 100 on the Miltank, and then it kind of just descends down to speed tiers that aren't really too prevalent. Still some are, obviously. But you know, there's those. You have a fucking regular Melmetal with item. So double Iron Bash, Choice Band, Monstrous, obviously. You play right, you're always gonna get a kill.
And it's paired with a Vaporeon, very good pairing.
Always nasty with a pairing. It's so nice to have something like Babe paired with Melmetal. It's just super nice. Grimmsnarl to set up screens is actually really cool. You got
Yeah.
Latios, you got Melmetal who can abuse that. That's super nice.
You got Bulk Up
Even now,
Cinderace.
Lego, Walk Up Cinderace, that too. Rotom if it wants to set up nasty plots. All the Rotoms obviously get nasty. You're sending rocks to the Miltank, you're sending rocks to the Rude, Neregus. Nihilego can do it. Doesn't really want to do it, but it can. Your biggest unmon on this team's fucking all creamy. I don't exactly know what it's
That is
doing on
very
this.
bad mon.
No offense to no offense to anyone for what you drafted. It's just personally we do not agree with what you've ended up picking on certain mons. Like I do not get what all creamy can do that like you couldn't find a better fairy. Like I'd rather take an Aromatisse dog.
I mean, you already have Grimmsnarl on the, but
Yeah, and you already have a
I don't know.
Vaporeon, so like I really don't know what the Alcreamy's doing here. Like you have
That's
your
7
Field Ballot.
points. 7 points could do so much.
Yeah. You know what you could afford with 7 points? A better hazard mover. You could afford like Hitmontop or some shit, dog.
Yeah, if you get a Hitmontop, I think this is top 3 team.
Yeah, Hitmontop's actually 7 points too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not built around Cinderace, Gmax, but that's fine. You're just not going to get as much value as you expect. But just like, even if you take out Cinderace, it's a very solid team nonetheless. I think it has potentials with a couple transactions to be like top tier.
And it gives you a fighting type too, so Hitmontop's just super good here instead of
Hitmontop got
Alchemy.
triple axle. Yeah.
Oh yeah!
you know, it's
Technician
great.
triple axle, here we come.
Hitmontop is very underrated. I should be 11-1 with it, but unfortunately, it missed triple axle. Sad face.
Maybe just be a better player and don't miss.
Okay, well,
And you know it's wild. The guy, there's 3 people in this call, and 2 of these people are top division players, and one of them is literally an 8-0. So like, Ether, you can go sit down.
Dang, that's so
Yeah, I mean,
toxic.
I beat you in Shell Armor last season, so
Dang.
Yeah, it's funny. It really doesn't show it between our divisions.
all right, moving on.
We got the Lord Mace with the cookie clutter pairing of Zeraora, Corviknight, and a ground dragon type.
God, all right, let's dig in. I see literally
No
one
ice resist.
self-rocker. I see one self-rocker. No, what do you? He's a Regice.
Okay. So here's the problem with Corviknight Zygarde. Your steel type does not have Stealth Rock. So usually you definitely like 100% want your ground type to have Stealth Rock, which is why most people pair it with a Garchomp.
Or jump, yeah.
But you have a Zygarde. Your ice resist is Dreadnought, Regice, and Blaziken, I guess. It's not. Yeah, you have one hazard. It's just hazards. Everyone has such bad hazard management.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to come back here like next week with like a PowerPoint presentation on how to draft good hazards.
Weavile's gonna be pressured in. Okay, you got good for. Corviknight is a very very reliable remover, and then you got Delmise, which is a not reliable remover, but that's fine. Which means
wait, hold on. This man drafted Corviknight, but nobody took Scizor.
nobody took Scizor.
Yeah, no one took regular scissor.
Who was that
No,
guy
what?
with the guy with regular Steelix? Fit a scissor in that team.
Yo,
I don't know if he has the points though.
no,
Unlucky.
he definitely doesn't have the points. You'd have to like drop a Raikkonen Steelix. I mean, that actually works. Raikkonen Steelix.
Raccoon Steelix for scissor. That sounds powerful. And then a dark type. Oh,
Bro, big brain. But yeah, no, like Scizor, I know Saint had this conversation in Mod Squad, especially because like everyone was doing the drafts at the same time. So like Saint was gonna ask a bunch of questions. And at one point, he's like, "Why would I draft Corviknight to do one thing, 16 points, when Scizor could do it better at 15 points and do a whole lot of other shit?"
scissor
Yeah.
is insane Pokemon.
Yeah, you.
Like
Wild.
Corviknight is your ground switching besides Delmise, which also doesn't want to switch into ground. Like Delmise is a weird Pokemon. Honestly, any one of these teams would appreciate a scissor besides the Melmetal team. Actually, even
Well, and the Sun team.
yes.
Now, what
So-
you mean, bro?
So anyone looking at transactions, scissor is a very quality mon, and for some reason, no one has picked it up. That is a very good point.
It gives you hazard removal, which a lot of the teams aren't that great on.
It fits decently on this team. You just have to change a couple things.
Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna look at what wasn't drafted in the midst. There's a free Zapdos, there's a free Scizor.
Well,
Tababuchi.
Zapdos got traded afterwards as well.
Yeah, but Zapdos should have
no.
never been dropped.
There's a fucking Landorus T on the board. Ah.
That's crazy.
All right, let's not get too heated now.
Bro, there's a Slowbro and a Raikou on the board. There's a
No.
Kyurem on the board.
Remember the last guy we saw with the Latios Melmetal? Tell them to drop their freaking Runerigus, Braviary, and something else, and Alchemy, and pick up a Landorus and a Clefairy. Broken.
Oh no, what's his name? Bucket has Clefairy.
Aw, never mind. You can
But
pick up a
he-
Togetic.
Yeah, no, real shit. Like, okay, no offense to everyone. Like, everyone has their mons that like they do well with, and like everyone has their own style, and it's just like, especially like now. I don't know about you, Wams. Like, I'm really trying to like get to a higher level of like play, prep, and like draft, but like be casual about it. Like, I don't want to spend hours breaking my head. I want to be able to like naturally understand this. And like looking at these things, like especially because Saints like in mod chat, he actually talks a decent amount whenever he's on. Like, I get to like I get to have the opinion of somebody who's higher level than me. I'll like talk about these things. obviously I haven't collected all of these and made sense of all of these. But like some things it really throws. Like bro, Slowbro is so prominent right now. It's not drafted. Kyurem is just scary in general.
Oh my
Not
god.
drafted.
Yeah, if you want to become a better drafter, you have to look at these insane Pokemon. Like Kira, okay, I think all listed besides Kyurem is like a great Pokemon for its points. I think Kyurem is slightly overpriced, but there's like you can't put it any lower. But it's still a great
Yeah,
mon.
no, you can't put that thing lower. It's just like it's
Yeah,
in an awkward position.
but
What else is that draft?
like for this example, during grace period you should have been like, there's a scissor available, which is a better Corviknight. I just gotta change my team around to fix some stuff that Corviknight was doing for me, and I have an insane team.
Bro, there's a Greninja. Oh my.
That's crazy.
There's a lot of good mons that people could afford to pick up that will make their team a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
You know the only 11-point mon taken was a Gardevoir?
Gardevoir is a good
You
mon,
mean
but
G Weezing?
No, Geoweezing. Yeah, no. Sorry, I was thinking of Gardevoir because I have it on my draft. No, but yeah, like there's so many good mons. It's really weird.
yeah,
Bro,
instead we
nobody
got
picked
a
up Registeel. That's obviously that's kind of
that's team
not
dependent.
common. Yeah, that's team dependent, but like Registeel's still a really good steel type. You can't sleep on that thing. There's so many good mons that like I feel like y'all are sleeping on, which like obviously you can't like compare skill levels to somebody you haven't played nor haven't really sat down and talked about and like understood how they see the game. But like this is really interesting to see all these mons.
Well, you
I
also
don't
do
know.
have to put into perspective um, the gimmick. I don't know if that, like, having a Gmax mon and wanting to build around a Gmax mon, like,
Hmm.
affects the draft.
No, it definitely does.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
interesting.
but referring back to Mace, Gmax Dreadnought seems very out of place. Does this water type? Wait, this Gmax move is the rock type move, right?
It sets Stealth Rock, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Oh,
That's
true.
some powerful self rocks, but
Actually, Dreadnought's not bad,
yeah,
but
being
it's
able to
your
let
only water,
Barris
which is still
spam,
weird.
yeah, like having offensive water as your only water is really putting you at an awkward position. It's like, okay, if I show up and I'm there like, yo, bro, okay, actually, wait, I'm gonna have to take Greninja because Greninja's a better example of this. Dreadnought, because it's rock type, is kind of like a little better. But like, if you have a Greninja on the screen and I pull up, no, let's say you have a Greninja in the back and I have Entei in the front and I'm choice spend to take your fire. Normally, everyone's gonna want to go on the bulky fire, but if your bulky water is a freaking Greninja, you're not appreciating my sacred fires. Like, you don't want to have a mon like nearly dead for like doing something it shouldn't be doing, and like you're trying to make it be a whole another pocket monster.
Wait, guys, I
Gotta be
understand why Corviknight's on this team.
why.
It's because he loses to any fairy type with mystical fire if he had a scissor.
But wait, literally,
He's
Delma is bulky enough to click Anchor Shot, Steelworker, live the mystical fire, and what?
no, but like fairy spam, it's pretty free.
I mean,
Besides
yeah.
Corviknight.
Especially I guess, versus the Hatterene team as well.
Oh, that's actually interesting. Oh, wait, actually, he'd be really get screwed up if he faced Gardevoir. Now that I think about it.
Gardevoir messes his team up. Hatterene messes his team up.
Yeah, no, okay. You don't
Um,
understand.
like Corviknight's very pressured to handle those fairies, and most of those other teams have other mons that Corviknight needs to check.
Mm-hmm. God.
I mean, but still, there's a lot of other teams that we have mentioned that Scissor could be really good on.
Yeah, I actually don't think it fits on this team, but there's a bunch of other teams that would really appreciate a scissor right about now.
Yeah, especially people that face Mace because like dealing with Zygarde 50 is really prominent.
Oh, scissor destroys Mace.
Yeah, no, Scissor goes zoom on the Weavile the Sylveon.
I definitely think he did not focus on his draft in shell armor as he
You know,
was
he
focused in trace. But
That's fair though. Like shell armor is like you're really meant supposed to like try a gimmick and have fun with it.
yeah, this is supposed to be having fun. And all the criticism here, we might sound weird about it, but it's just for a fun thing for you guys, and don't take it seriously, because in the end, shell armor and the side leagues are mainly for fun.
Yeah.
And try and prove us wrong if we really criticize your team.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I will make this statement as true as possible. Ether sucks at this game.
All right.
He only wins with hacks.
Yep, you
Here's
got
the
me.
thing. Here's the thing about drafts. A team is only as good as the player behind it. You can have a crap team, but if you're insane, you can make that crap team work. Or if it's your play style, it can make the draft work. We're here to point out some minor holes that you might have that you might want to look to fix if you see it become a problem in the future. Or like you can potentially see it as a problem. Because different perspectives are always great when you're drafting. But like obviously if you have a different style than us, or if you're just really confident in your team and that it fits your play style, you can prove us wrong, because everyone has a different play style. And a bad team in most people's mind could be an insane team if you play it right. All right.
Yeah.
I think we're done for the individual analysis.
Yeah, I think I think this is where we wrap it up.
Yes. The original plan was to do it live, but I am no longer going to do that. So, the power rankings for each of us will be down in the description. So, yeah, look at that. So, we'll end the recording off here.
All right.
All right. Anything you guys want to say?
Enough views. We'll do a podcast.
Yeah,
All right.
I just look forward to seeing some of these matches, seeing some of you prove us wrong with some spicy sets, and yeah.
All right.
Name all your Pokemon. Ether sucks, and have a good night.
All right, Tails is toxic. Good night.
Good night. Bye.